Welcome back to an exciting video. And what we're going to talk about today is the one thing you must have to be an amazing guitar player overnight. So, if you just heard my little spiel intro there, yeah, you pretty much know that is not true. It doesn't happen. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I was surfing around on YouTube the other night, which is normally what I do before I go to bed. I will get on there and I will watch a little bit of YouTube. And just to see what everybody else is doing, looking for a funny video, what the hell's happening, what's going on. It's really cool. I've been watching this Nate the Hoof guy crap lately, where they're shaving off the hoofs of the, they get like stones and shit in them. And I find that shockingly fascinating for some reason. I probably watched 400 of those damn videos. And there's like the GP Hoof guy or something like that, Nate the Hoof guy. There's quite a few of them. And I actually find that incredibly satisfying to watch for some reason. So, but I watch a lot of stuff on, especially guitar refinishing. For some reason, I've been really getting into that lately. And people, luthiers who are making guitars from scratch, I've been watching a lot of that lately. But in my queries, in my quest of never-ending surfing YouTube videos, and a lot of it too because I have a YouTube channel, so I like to see what else is going on out there and what other idiots as myself are putting up out there in the guitar world and all that stuff. So I come across, now since I do watch a lot of guitar videos, of course I get a lot of things slanted towards a guitarist. And I get this one thing, this ad that comes up. And this guy's like, hey, do you want to learn to play guitar? You learn my secret method and you can be a great guitar player in no time. All you got to do is stay till the end of my video. Stay till the end of my video, and I will give you the secret on how to be the best guitar player you could ever be. I've had people come to me, people who've been playing for 50 years, Broadway musicians, professional musicians. They come to me and they learn my secret pattern. Things that, and they just don't understand how they never saw it before. And their playing improves drastically from my secret method of learning these 7 simple notes. Just learn these 7 simple notes. And they're not 7 notes, they're 7 feelings. You're playing a feeling, you're not playing a note. And if you learn these 7 feelings, you can master the fretboard and you can play anywhere you want, from top to bottom, from front to back. You'll be a great guitar player. And if you stay to the end of my video, I will give you my secret. Now, if you want to learn my secret, it's only going to cost you $29.95 to learn my secret. But for your $29.95, you're going to be an amazing guitar player when we're done. So I'm watching this guy's bullshit video. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, this is bullshit. There is no secret sauce to playing a guitar. Absolutely not. There's not one thing you can do that connects all the dots and the light comes on, and then you wake up and you're Randy Rhoads. And the reason I'm doing this video is because it kind of pisses me off when people put this shit out there. Because you have people who, have been struggling for whatever reason for 2, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, trying to play guitar. Then they see this guy's video and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to buy this. This is going to be the greatest thing in the world. I'm going to wake up and be Eddie Van Halen. And no, you're not. You're not going to wake up and be Eddie Van Halen. You're not going to wake up and be anything. You're going to be the same damn losing guitar player turd you are right now. Trust me, I went through it. That's how I ended up in school for music, because I wasn't progressing. So buying these videos that these people, or whatever the hell they're selling, these books or whatever, you learn this, you're going to be a great guitar player, is bullshit. I'm going to have to put the bullshit meter up on this one, because it's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. If it did, there would be master musicians everywhere. Because if this guy had the one secret to break the code to make you a master guitar player, don't you think everybody in the world would be buying this video? The guy would be a gazillion, billion, trillionaire, because everybody would buy it. And not only that, if this guy's got the master secret to learn these 7 feelings, you don't even need to know theory. You just need to learn these 7 feelings. I've got to get the name. I've not seen this ad since I saw it the one time, and I cannot remember the name of the ad, but I promise you, as soon as I get it, I'll just make another video and say, hey, here's the ad to the dipshit, and I'll just put it up, boop, and be done with it. But if it worked for guitar, would it not work for piano, cello, violin? Would it just not work for anything? Tuba, trumpet? Would it not work for every instrument? Because that's the thing about music. Music is universal. And just because you can play one instrument, that does not mean you can play all instruments. But if you have a damn good understanding of theory, you can figure out how all instruments work. I'm a guitarist, but I'm a piano player. I'm not a pianist. Beethoven was a pianist. I'm a piano player. I'm a guitar dude that just happens to know how to play piano, but I'm not Billy Joel by any stretch of the imagination because I spend no time on the piano like I do on the guitar, because the guitar is what I do. Now, I love piano and I love playing. And if you notice how deep my voice is right now, it's because we played last night. And guess what I took? My piano. We played an acoustic show. My singer, I went, took my piano, my bass player took an acoustic. And we went and played for 3 hours at this little place. And we had a good time. And the reason my voice is so deep is because we have this one song I sing, Maybe I'm Amazed by Paul McCartney, which is at the very edge of my range. And it just thrashes my voice. And plus, I did a hell of a lot of singing last night. So this is the end result for the next day. I get this really cool low voice. This is my radio personality voice. This is when I should do like movie trailers with this voice. You know, are you tired of being in the woods? Are you afraid when you see shadows? Dude, I can so do that shit. You know, I just need to go out and scream my brains out for a couple hours and then just knock this out. Because I get this really crazy deep voice when I do things like that. So this is my radio personality voice I got right now. But anyway, so I watched this guy's ad, and all I can think is this is just the biggest crock of bullshit. And it pisses me off because people are going to spend money to buy this thing, thinking that it's going to do them some good. And it's not going to do them any good whatsoever. There are 2 things you must have to be a musician. And I'm going to give you the secret right now. And guess what? I'm going to give it to you for free. Although, however, I would love to have a subscription on my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to say it again. Please subscribe to my channel. And a third time, please subscribe to my channel. Please check out my Patreon. I have an Instagram up. I've only got a couple things on there. But I'll make y'all a deal. If y'all subscribe to my Instagram channel, I'll put a lot more shit up there. It's pretty simple. Y'all subscribe, I'll put things up. So enough of that. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video, share the video, yada, yada, yada. And don't forget about the guitar I'm giving away, the Ibanez 1070 PBZ. We got to get this thing going. We got to get this thing going. We got to get it going. Got to get it going. So anyway, enough about that. Subscribe to my channel. So I'm going to tell you the 2 things you need right now. You need a brain and you need a heart. Now, if you have a brain and a heart, are you going to be a great guitar player tomorrow night? Absolutely not. You're going to be a great guitar player next week? Absolutely not. Are you going to be a great guitar player next year? Well, absolutely not. It doesn't work that way. When you see these advertisements come up, you know, for $29.95, stay to the end of my 7-minute video and I'll give you the secret. The secret is give me $30 and then I'll send you the secret of how to master these 7 notes, these 7 feelings. I just can't get this shit out of my head. So you can waste your $30 and you can buy his program and you're going to be exactly right where you are right now. Because one thing I can tell you for sure, there's not a single damn thing about a guitar you cannot learn on YouTube right now. Hell, you can probably learn 90% of it just off my channel alone. I talk about all kinds of theory and shit like that all the time. I did modes, major scales, minor scales. I've done all kinds of crap on there. But you watch all those videos and you learn everything, you're still not going to be a great guitar player overnight. But there are things that you must have in order to be a great guitar player. Now in this video, he says, even Joe Pass said, the great Joe Pass, that you cannot think and play guitar. And what I'm going to teach you, you don't even know theory. You don't even need to be able to think. You feel your way through. You feel it. You just feel it. Okay, so let's cut to the nuts of it right now. So the first thing you must have in order to be a great guitar player is a guitar that you love.
Catch the ball. Good boy.
Because here's what it comes down to. If you don't love the guitar you're playing, I did a video on this. If you do not connect with the guitar that you're playing, you're not going to want to play it. But I promise you, if you go out there and do what most of us do, and you play the 10 bazillion guitar players, and I've actually made this statement in one of my videos. You ever notice when you walk into a guitar store, they have every guitar in the world in there except the one you want? Oh, that's true every damn time I go in. Every time I go in. Nobody makes a guitar that I love 100%. There's always something about the guitar I would change. Always. You know, now I'm not John Petrucci and I don't have Music Man whipping me up guitars, But I could still build my own guitar. Jesus, there's enough people out there that make shit. I could pay to have one custom built. And at one point, I may do that. But for my needs, I can find guitars that I do love. And I play the hell out of those guitars that I do love. Because a good guitar will inspire you to play. And the more you play, the better you become. So that's the first thing you must have is a guitar that you love. The second thing you must have is a brain. Can't play guitar without a brain. Got to be able to think. And like this guy on this ad says, I got to get the name of it. As soon as I can find this ad again, I'm going to do a video that, did I mention this already? I'm going to do a video that's just going to say, here's the ad. Watch it for yourself and tell me what you think. End of video. So, but the second thing you must have is a brain. Because, you can't think and play guitar at the same time. Well, again, that's bullshit. Because what Joe Pass was saying is you should know the material so well you don't have to think about it. You have to do something, 50 times before you can start to commit it to memory? So if you're trying to memorize a solo, you got to play it at least 50 times to commit it to memory. And the best way to commit it to memory is to chunk the solo. If you ever took psychology in college, or hell, I guess they taught it in psychology in high school. I did not take psychology in high school. But if you ever took psychology in college, there's chunking about how to learn things. You learn it in chunks, and it's called chunking. And that's a good way to learn a solo. You learn it in, the way I learn guitar solos, the way I learn everything is I learn it by phrases. I do it phrase by phrase. And so when I learn, and I'll cover this more in a subsequent video, but I learn everything in phrases. And the phrases become chunks of the entirety of the solo or whatever it is you're trying to learn. So you don't even have to think about it. You just play. You don't have to think. You just feel it. Just feel your way through it. Okay? When Joe Pass said that, he meant that you know the material so well that you don't have to think about it. But you still got to have a brain to be able to play. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you can sit there and play all you want. You're going to hit a wall. And guess what that wall is going to be? Not knowing where to go next. Guess what prevents that not knowing where to go next? Theory. The one thing this clown said you did not have to know was theory. Learn these 7 feelings, and you can play anything all over the chord, all over the neck. Learn these 7 notes, which is a scale. So that's revolutionary. Learn a scale. Learn how to play guitar. It's amazing that you came up with that all by yourself. And for $30, I will show you what a scale is. Yeah, hell of a deal. Or you can just watch my channel and learn about all that shit anytime you want to. Won't cost you a dime, although it would be nice if you subscribed again. So, you got to have a brain. But you need a brain for multiple reasons. First off, the brain has to, you have to have the ability to think your way through what you're doing. What do I mean by that? You got to be able to understand the technique of picking, the technique of fretting. You got to be able to understand how to tie these two things together. One just can't work independently of itself. At one point, these things have to start syncing up. Because if they don't, well, then you turn into Jimmy Page.
Holy shit, Mimsy, what the hell did you do?
No, before I start getting a bunch of death threats and hate mail, Jimmy Page was a shitty guitar player. He was sloppier than hell. He was not that great. Listen to the music. And before everybody starts, oh my God, that's sacrilegious. It's Jimmy Page. Before you start going down that road, give me some slack. Jimmy Page was a brilliant songwriter. And I'm going to tell you right now, if God looked at me and said, Trace, I'm going to give you one gift. You can be an amazing guitarist or an amazing songwriter. I'm going to be an amazing songwriter. I'll tell you that right now. I know a million amazing guitarists that sit in their bedroom and play by themselves. Well, not play by themselves, play with themselves, play by themselves. You know what I mean. But I don't know a single amazing songwriter that's sitting in their bedroom by themselves. They're out writing amazing songs and making a ton of money. So yeah, that would be my one thing, is I'd rather be the amazing songwriter than the amazing guitarist. Because with all the money I would make, hell, I could hire John Petrucci to come teach me, and then I'd be an amazing guitar player on top of it. So, but you have to have a brain to connect it all together. And when this guy's talking about, well, you feel it. You feel it. There's 7 feelings. There's not 7 notes. There's 7 feelings. Bullshit. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. And like I said, it irritates me that people make these videos and people buy them because it's just a scam. They're not 7 feelings. They're 7 notes. There's 7 notes to that scale. And you could take it much further and you could expand upon those 7 notes because if you did it chromatically, then all of a sudden there's more notes in there. It's not just 7 notes you learn. And so what he's saying is there's 7 feelings. And when you're playing over a chord and you hit the one that feels right, then that's the right note. Oh my God, that is revolutionary. Who would have thought if you play the right note at the right time that it would actually sound good? Who would have ever thought that? Thank God this guy's out there selling this product for $30 to let me know that if I hit the right note at the right time, it's going to sound fucking amazing. Thank you, goofball dude. And I swear to God, I'm going to find this ad and put this thing up. Thank you for letting me know that. But let's break that down just for a minute more. You simply can't play. I mean, you could play any note over any chord, and it's going to work. If I'm playing a G major and you solo and you strike an A, okay, we could look at that in a couple of different ways. We could look at that and say, well, theoretically, that could be an A suspended second, or it could be an A add 9. Either way, it's amazing how that theory comes into play. The one thing he says you do not need to know. And I disagree with that 1 billion%. Because if you did not need to know theory, then how would you know the chord you're playing over? Because like I said, and this goes back to the brain part, the brain has to be able to do all this and connect it. But you have to be able to think your way through the passages. So like I said, if you're playing a G chord and I play the second, I'm sorry, A, I meant G suspended second, G add 9. And I play an A, then like I said, that could be a G suspended second or a G add 9. So let's say, for the hell of it, you're playing a G suspended second. And I wanted to accentuate that in my solo. So I would play the second. Now, maybe that would be the feel-good note. Or maybe it wouldn't be the feel-good note. Maybe I'm just trying to accentuate what that chord is. And it's the right note to play because it goes to the message I'm trying to get across. But without the theory, how are you going to know that? How are you going to know that's what you're playing? You got to have the theory to understand what is playing and to be able to navigate the path that lays in front of you. Because like I said, the best thing to do is learn in phrases, which is kind of like how I write solos. I write them in phrases. And I want my phrase to say something. And I have a call, I have a response. And I'm trying to say something in that one little section of that phrase. And what am I trying to say? And like I said, I'll get more into this in a different video. But I have to understand what's being played. And I also have to understand what I'm playing over it to achieve what I'm trying to achieve. So therefore, you must learn the theory in order to become a great guitar player. Now, I know guitar players who play pretty well, don't know a damn thing about theory. But if they haven't hit it yet, I promise you, they're going to hit that wall that when they smack into it, it's going to put a dent so hard in their forehead, their kids are going to have brain damage. You've got to go through the steps. There are no shortcuts. Moving on. So like I said, the brain puts all this together. The brain helps you think about the theory. Well, like Joe Pass said, you can't think and play guitar at the same time. Well, no, that's bullshit too. You can think and play guitar at the same time. But what Joe Pass was saying, to reiterate, is you should know it so well that you don't have to think about it. If you're soloing in the major scale over C, you should know that scale so well you don't have to think about what you're playing. That's what he meant. He did not mean what this guy's trying to drive home. The point he's trying to make is you don't need to know anything to be a great guitar player, which again is bullshit. You can learn to play guitar. You sure as hell won't be great. Do you think Randy Rhoads watched some video to learn one lesson and just woke up and I was like, oh my God, I'm Randy Rhoads. I'm going to go play for Ozzy Osbourne. I'm going to change the world of guitar music. I'm going to be a god. Yeah, no, it didn't happen that way. Randy took a shitload of lessons. Randy practiced all the time. Eddie Van Halen I'm sure we've all seen it where they're talking to Alex Van Halen. And he says, and Alex Van Halen says, well, hell, I'd leave at 5 o'clock to go partying. Eddie be playing his guitar. I'd get home at 2 o'clock in the morning. Eddie was still sitting there playing his guitar. That's why he's Eddie Van Halen and you're not. But that's what it takes to be an Eddie Van Halen. And Eddie Van Halen has this. You got to have a guitar you love. You got to have a brain. A brain's very important. The brain connects concepts. Concepts fill up and close ideas. Good ideas turn into hits. Hits make you a guitar god. That's how it works. No shortcuts. The other thing you might have. So you got to have a guitar that you love. You got to have a brain. You got to be able to think your way through what you're doing. You got to be able to navigate the path in front of you. The other thing you need, the third thing you need, is you need a heart. So what do I mean by that? You got to have a heart, you know. Well, going back to his 7 notes, his 7 feelings. The feeling of music is what will drive you to play ultimately. Now, you got to have a brain, to, like I said, to be able to navigate the path ahead of you. But it's the drive and the desire, that's going to come from your heart, actually. The emotional connection you have to that instrument. And it goes back to the guitar you love, the emotional connection to it. When you find that one guitar that you're just like, oh my God, this is it, dude. I love this guitar. That makes you want to play more. But when you start phrasing these incredible solos together and you start hitting these right notes that are just, they're just in the pristine right place. And, you know, the David Gilmour just starts pouring out of you, the Gary Moore flowing through your fingers. The connection you're going to make to the music, to the solo, to the guitar, to what you're doing is going to be simply a great force. And that will drive you to play more. Or you'll come up to a passage that you're just like, I just can't play it. I can't play it. But the heart, the passion you have for it will connect with the brain and say, you know what? We can't play this today. But I bet you we're going to be playing this shit in 2 weeks. And then you start hacking, you start woodshedding, you start grinding, and before you know it, you've got it down. That's where the heart comes in, the passion, the desire, the want, that feeling that oh my God, I can't wait to play my guitar. I just get, going to the show. I can't wait to get out in front of the crowd. Just go out there and just shred my ass off. And, thriving off of the energy of the crowd. The crowd's going crazy. The band is on point. You're playing the best you've ever played. You're sweating all over the place. Those are good days. And those are some of the best days of my life. And I love those days. And, we don't always have those days. I've played a million shows where I'm like, Jesus, I just can't wait to get out of here. I am just ready to go. But every once in a while, we get lucky. And we just have that magical night with that magical show. And even, I don't care who it is, every musician, Zakk Wylde, they all have that one show where everything was just on point. And they're like, it was the best show of my life, man. Everybody has that if you play in front of crowds. So you've got to have a heart to make it, to push you into it. It's got to be a compassionate thing. Because music almost has to be a love affair. Because if you listen to Gary Moore, you'll understand what I'm saying. Gary Moore is a shockingly brilliant melodic guitar player. And, he'll make you cry with his guitar solos. They're just fantastic. Just the feeling and the emotion this guy pours into it, it all comes from his heart. But I'll guarantee you one damn thing. Gary Moore knows the theory behind everything he's playing, and he knows exactly why he's playing what he's playing. I guarantee it. It's a complete package. There is no one magic thing that's going to make you a great guitar player like this idiot's video. Because like I said, that is simply bullshit. And you can sit there and you can watch his 7-minute commercial. Then you can give him $30. And at the end of the $30, when you get your information, which I'm sure is going to be emailed to you, you're going to be like, oh, wow, this is bullshit. I could have just went on YouTube and found the same thing for free. So now, am I pissed off at this guy's trying to make money? Absolutely not. We live in a capitalist world. I love capitalism. Capitalism is what gives me a job. Actually, capitalism is what lets us do what we do on YouTube. It's a prime example of capitalism right here. So I don't fault the guy for doing that. But what I fault all these guys for is the grift, the scam. You learn these 7 magical feelings, you'll be an amazing guitar player tomorrow. And that's bullshit. You want to get from A to D. You have no choice but to go through B and C. There's no other way around it. If everybody could go from A to D, and D being Randy Rhoads, everybody would go from A to D. Then you wouldn't want to be a guitar player because there'd be 500 billion great guitarists out there. And you, well, what's the point in doing that? I got so much competition, I'm never going to make any money. You must go through B and C. That's the only way to get to D. First off, get a guitar that you love. And trust me, that's going to help tremendously. You know, if you're playing on some piece of shit Squire that's 20 years old and the action is sky high on it, you got a tremolo that won't stay in tune to save your life, the intonation's all out of whack, you know, the first 3 strings on a guitar are black, you're never going to play the damn guitar because you just simply don't love the guitar. Get a quality instrument, and I promise you, that will help you. Prime example, my first wife and I was married before. We were married, we had a grand piano. And that's what really got me into music, was us having that grand piano. And I went and bought that. Went to the Yamaha store and bought that grand piano. Loved it. Had a baby grand. When I had my grand piano, because I have my digital pianos, you've seen them in my videos. When I had my grand piano, I played all the time. I played a minimum of an hour every single day. Every day. Because of my passion for that piano, the sound, the way it thundered. And just the way it resonated throughout the house. I mean, it was huge. And that made me want to play all the time. And back then, I was on my way to being a pianist. And this was, 25 years ago. I was on my way to being a pianist. But then I got divorced. And I lost my grand piano. And I started buying these digital pianos. Not even close to the same. I play them a couple hours a week, maybe a couple hours a week, because I don't have that emotional connection to that digital piano that I had to that grand piano that made me want to play all the time. And when I lost the grand piano, I started getting into guitars, and then, then the whole thing's kind of started doing this. And now my guitar playing skills are up here. And the amazing thing is my piano skills used to be here, but now they're here. You don't use it, you definitely lose it. And so, instrument that you love. Brain. You got to have a brain. No way around it. You got to have a brain. You got to be able to think your way through what you're doing. Now, you can play it. You can get the minor pentatonic scale and play all kinds of shit. But when your kid's brain damaged because you hit the wall so hard, you've hurt your own children. You can't blame anybody but yourself because you didn't take the time to learn the theory. The brain helps you connect all this, but it helps you connect the music together. You got to have a brain. And you got to have a heart. The emotional drive to do it is actually a pretty powerful thing. It doesn't work without the 3. There are no shortcuts to playing music. There are some people who come out of the womb with that God-giving talent. But I promise you, they didn't grab a guitar at 4 years old and just start hammering it out. They played their ass off for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years to get where they're at. And I'm going to equate this before I wrap this up to going to the gym. We're coming up into January. My wife and I, we work out. So come January, we'll go to the gym. We'll wait 900 years for every single machine that we need to get onto because all these people are going to run into the gym. First of the year, New Year's resolutions. I'm going to lose all this weight. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to get some strength. I'm going to be strong. And they're all going to pour in there like they do every single year. And then come about March, when they went in there at 350 pounds, and then they weigh themselves and they're, 345 pounds. Oh my God, it's not working. And then they quit. Because guess what? It takes about 3 months for anything to actually get going. Kind of like on a guitar. You're really not going to start to notice a change until about 6 months. Kind of like on a guitar. you're really not going to notice a massive difference until about a year. Kind of like on a guitar. So, when I talk music to people, I always equate it back to the gym because people usually quit in about 3 months at the gym before their body has a chance to accept what's happening and it starting to change. Well, I taught guitar for a lot of years, taught piano. People normally quit in about 3 months, right about when things are starting to pick up for them. So, on that note, I'm going to wrap it up right there. I just had to get this out of my system after watching that video because I don't want anybody to pay $30 for this guy's bullshit program just to find out that it was bullshit. It's not. You're not going to know anything more from doing that. And I guarantee you, I bet you can find out everything you need to know about playing guitar just by watching my video channel alone. Now take my video channel and divide it by the millions of them that are out there. There's literally nothing you cannot figure out how to play my Great Dane. There's literally nothing you cannot figure out how to play. What you cannot get off YouTube is the brain, the guitar you love, and the heart. So on that note, we're going to wrap it up right there. And like the great Sammy Hagar says, if you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm and nothing falls into place. And dude, this is exact. That saying works for this little video verbatim. Connects verbatim to what I was trying to say. So anyway, please subscribe to the channel. Like the video, share the video, do everything you got to do with the video. And don't forget about the Trace Taylor Great Guitar giveaway. We're giving away my Ibanez 1070 PBZ. It is an absolutely beautiful guitar. And in all honesty, I'm probably going to bag that guitar up because I was going to use it exclusively for my YouTube channel. But then I'm thinking, well, if I do that, then it's going to have a much higher chance of getting beat up. And I don't want to give somebody a beat up guitar. I want to give them a flawless, beautiful guitar. So I'm probably going to throw that in the bag, break it out every once in a while and play it. But I'm probably going to go ahead and just stick it in its Ibanez gig bag and kind of, cram it in the corner for now. So don't forget about that. Until the next video, whatever instrument you're playing, practice, play it to the best of your ability. Doesn't matter what you play. Did I just hit my mic? Yes, it doesn't matter what you play. Just play the hell out of it. Love your instrument. Love what you do. Love the music. And rock on.